Huzzah! What's going on, everyone? It is Storm the Bard, and we are looking at top 5 reasons to play Metro Exodus. This is the PS5 Enhanced Edition, and it is a very cool apocalyptic game. It started out with a book, and has now gone 3 games in a series, which has been really cool so far, and they've really trumped it up. Now, mind you, I've only played probably about 4 chapters so far, but honestly, after playing those 4 chapters, I feel like this definitely should be part of the top 5. It should definitely be a game you should play, and we're going to get into the top 5 reasons of why that is. Before I do that, though, again, thank you for all the subs, thank you for hitting the notification bell, knowing when we're live streaming, and thank you for all the support. As always, you guys are amazing. If you're not part of our community called the Storm Knights, you can join us by joining up on the Discord that is in the description, or go ahead and hit the sub button and become part of the Storm Knight community here. We have a great community. We're always talking about news on the PlayStation, things that are coming out, things that we're really excited about and passionate about. These are always positive reviews. I don't really ever go into the negatives and stuff. And all my top 5s are games that I'm passionate about that I think you guys will be passionate about as well too, if you're like me and like some of the same stuff I like. So without further ado, let's go into it. Number 1 is the setting. So the setting is really well done. I like the setting a lot. I'm a big fan of apocalyptic games. I love games that really go into that what-if scenario. What if the bombs drop? What if zombies took over the world? What if nature itself just grew over everything? How would it be? What kind of creatures would it make? Like, how would people react? I love that kind of idea behind it. Like, what if the world just collapsed? What if, economies collapse? What if everything did it break into factions? Did people decide to, make their own situations? Did Mad Max, did they all just get cars and go crazy? There's all these cool scenarios, and I think that the apocalyptic idea is just really cool. This is a survival horror on top of it. It also has what I would like to call some RPG elements, though not RPG in terms you don't level up anything like that and stuff, but I'll get into the reason of why I call it RPG elements. And we'll start it up with number 2. Not really start it up, but keep going with number 2. There's a sandbox style of this game, which I really enjoy. So you have, of course, your main mission that you do, which on this map here, it gives you like an X marks a spot. Okay, this is where we want to go. This is what we want to do. However, though, because these maps are kind of open up now, not full open world, but open map, open area, you get to explore. You get to look for different things like components to build your guns and make them better. Find stuff to make new things, like for your suits and your air mask and your filter, everything like that and such. All kinds of lore to find, different little notes and cassette tapes to listen to, people talking about what's going on and what they've found or things in the area and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Different creatures come out at night. Certain creatures only come out during the day. You have better chance of dealing with like bandits at night, things like that. So there's all these different little elements that are really cool to make this world feel like an apocalyptic nightmare that you're in and how you want to handle it. Which, speaking of that, let's get to number 3. Playing how you want. Now, I love a good game that gives you the ability to, all right, do I want to play this game all stealth? Do I want to take this area and go stealth-wise? Do I want to go in guns blazing? Do I want to go in, if it's a fantasy game, do I want to go in my swords and stuff like that? Do I want to Assassin's Creed style? Do I want to come in and just, take out the main objective and that's it? Sneak my way all the way there? This game really gives you that option and stuff. And this is where I also talking about some of that RPG feel, because depending on how you do it, now you can play, very passive in terms of just knocking people out, things like that. You can kill anybody you want and such. Depending on how you do it, it actually does affect things. Because I know that at a certain point, I'm not going to get anything because I don't want to get spoilers out. I don't like giving spoilers out in these top 5s. But I know at a certain point, when I met this certain leader and such, or this opposition situation, because we didn't kill anybody and we stealthed in the whole way, he told everybody to stand down and everything like that. Now I have a feeling if I went in there with guns blazing, or if we ended up killing a few people, they would have turned around and been like, fight to get out. It would have been a fight to get out of there, basically. But in this situation, it wasn't, and I really like the aspect of that you can kind of choose to play how you want, and it will determine what ends up happening in the end. So very, very cool. Big kudos off to the developers for building that kind of style, that sandbox style into this game, because I love that. It just gives you a really nice feel of how you want to do it. You have more control, if anything else. All right, number 4. Now, of course, every apocalyptic game, every survival horror game has to have some good creatures, right? I mean, you can't just be like scared from running from just the shambling. Well, some people do get very scared from shambling zombies, but like for me, I want all kinds of different creatures, right? In this apocalyptic world, like if nuclear bombs have dropped, what has changed? What has mutated? What's out there? How about a giant catfish? I kid you not. There's a monstrous catfish right in the beginning. It's not really a spoiler or anything because this is the beginning of it and stuff like that. But there's a giant catfish out there. There's like these big shrimp and whatnot. Now, I work for a seafood company, so it makes me even feel greater on that situation. But so, needless to say, though, yeah, there's some big enemies out there. Through the other metros and stuff, you have your kind of wolf dog looking things and stuff like that. You got those big demon vampire bat looking guys that fly around and stuff like that. And who knows what else, because I haven't gone further in. Like I said, I'm only 3-4 chapters in so far. So I can only imagine the kind of big beasties we're going to be running into, and I'm really excited about that. Not to mention you have your usual cultists, because of course, what apocalypse doesn't have a cult group of some sort? And your bandits, because, yeah, I mean, Mad Max set the stage for that right off the bat with, you know, anarchists, bandits, and whatnot, taking anything they can get their hands on and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, you're going to always have that kind of stuff. Number 5. Now, this is an interesting one. Now, some of these games that are first-person shooters and whatnot, and these kind of styles and whatnot, the NPCs are really not that really big of a deal in the storyline, right? Unless they really build it up that way. But a lot of these times, it's like, oh, you got to get to your objective. You're going to run into these people. They're going to give you a little bit of lore and a little talk and blah, blah, blah. But what I like about this one is these people actually, because I think this was based off a book originally, they really do make you feel for these NPCs. They really make them feel alive. You know, you've got these guys like in a squad just all talking about the reason they came out here, what their plans are, things like that and stuff. You really do feel for these guys. You go into the next compartment that we're going to go into in a few moments here, and there's this guy that's kind of fallen for this woman that we saved. He's playing music for her and stuff. Her daughter's over there talking to one of the other guys who's like working on the guns. He's talking about teaching her how to sew and things like that. You know, like everybody's got this thing going on, and it's really cool because it does make you feel for these people running around with them and stuff. I have a feeling we'll maybe lose some people during this. Hopefully not. Maybe we can make it so we don't. I don't know, depending on how you play style maybe. But you know, I'm hoping. I like the people so far. I like the NPCs, and then when you stop at them, they all have something to talk about and stuff that like just is driving them, or you know, is keeping them going and whatnot, or talking about where they are and things like that. It really adds into the lore, into the living feel of the world as you're doing all these things that you're doing and such. So yeah, that is top 5 reasons to play Metro Exodus. I definitely think you should check it out. It's a great game. It's a great series. If you haven't had a chance to play through the whole series, I definitely would suggest it. This game so far has definitely been the best out of the 3. I personally think I'm really loving what they've done with it. The open world, the open areas, the sandbox feel, everything they've done has been really good. But thank you, everybody. I do appreciate all the likes, subscribes, and everything like that. Joining our community, hanging out with us, talking about games that are coming out, talking about games we're excited about, and such. Plus, not to mention, jump over on the Twitter. You can see the photos I take of the games I make usually when the photos of the games I'm playing, my top 5s and things like that, and all that, and the live streams, of course. So, without further ado, thank you again. I'm Storm the Bard. Be safe, be just, and as always, huzzah!